Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into the world of UI UX design. I'll be reviewing the highly capable yet user-friendly software Mockitt. With this software, you can quickly and easily create prototype websites, apps, product presentations. It's actually a lot of fun to use, so let's hop into it. Now, using the link in the description below, you can follow along. They have a really great free trial to give this a shot. So go ahead, grab that, and let's jump in. So when you click the link, you're going to come to the homepage here, and you can click Get Started for free. Once you log in or sign up, it'll take you to this dashboard here. So on the left-hand side, we basically just have just kind of a high-level menu. There's recent file, some favorites if you save favorites, and then down here are your team spaces. So obviously I just have this one team and one project, but here's where if you were assigned to multiple teams, if you were part of enterprise or a small business and you had multiple projects going on, this is where you'd see all that show up. And then once you're in a project, up here in the upper right, you can see that we can add new members to our project, or we can go ahead and create a new file. What I love about Mockitt is it not only gives you the tools in order to make your presentation, your app, or your prototype, but it also gives you the front end of that, and it gives you the ability to map out what you want, right? And so we have the mind map tool and the flowchart tool, and it's all built in. I found that to be incredibly intuitive and valuable when it comes to planning your project. So what you'll have when you sign up is you'll have these two default projects to take a look at. Okay, so for feature number 1, we're going to come and create a mind map, because the first thing you really need, right, is you need to just organize your thoughts. So for today's example, I have a auto repair shop, an auto repair business, and I want a website, something that I can engage with my customers. There's not really a right or wrong way to do these. This is kind of just brainstorming and a way to organize your ideas. So I have Bob's Repair Shop. I want Bob's Repair Shop to have I want to advertise for my services. I want to show some customer reviews, and I want a place for customers to be able to contact us. So these are the 3 main things that I want. Now let's say you wanted to go a little deeper. So you can click on one, right click, and we're going to add a subtopic. And then underneath that, we're going to say, so for reviews, I want to show some photos. For contact us, I definitely want a form to fill out, and I want to also showcase locations and hours, right? Kind of important for a business. Okay, so this is a high level, just organize your thoughts so that when you go and you sit down to design your app or your website, you have an outline to go off of, right? I think this is a fantastic feature. As you can see, there's not a ton of bells and whistles. It's very simple. It's very intuitive to use. You can also use the buttons up here to insert a peer topic or the subtopic. We could put a hyperlink in, we could put images in right here, right? So those photos that I was talking about, we can just slap some of those in right there. And then some basic formatting things up here to make it look a little different. Now, if you were really crazy and you were like,
I want to change the theme, I don't like this so much, you can
make it a rainbow theme, right? Make it cool. If you wanted to, you could either download this as a PNG, you could share it, and again, we can add members. So now we want to map out a little bit about how our pages are going to flow with each other. Okay, so we're going to go up here to New and click on Flowchart, and now we're in the flowcharting workspace. So this is actually really cool if you just wanted to do flowcharting. So we're going to start with a process. You just click and drag, double click to type. So the first thing we're going to have is a landing page, right? And when you want to add another one, what I like to do is just copy, because I changed a little bit of the sizing, and then paste, and we'll just run it right next to the other one. It does have a nice feature that it kind of snaps, so you can keep everything aligned and looking nice. Okay, so from that landing page, we're going to go to the contact us page. So if we copy this, we can paste it, we can bring it down here, get that nice alignment, and have our services and some testimonials. Now let's say you had a shape and you're like, oh well, I don't know what to do. I need to change this. Well, that's easy. Right click, say replace shape, and then we can make it whatever other shape we decided it needs to be. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to delete it and redo it, right? Okay, then let's say you wanted to make swim lanes. Grab a swim lane, bring this over, drag this over. Say home. And then again, we can really nicely change our theme up here if we wanted to make everything a theme, have a few to choose from. And again, we could customize the background however we want. Control Z is your friend. So we can insert images here if we wanted, and then if we're going to connect them, we come and we hover over and grab the little arrow, click and drag to what it connects to. Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, right? So very easy to use. If you wanted to change the color of these, if you hold shift, you can select them all and then come up here and we can say, go back to black. All right, so that's the flowcharting overview. So now that you've got all of your thoughts organized, you have your flowchart mapped out, and you know what you're gonna do, now it's time to do new, and we're gonna do prototype. So now we get this window with the different options. What are we making, right? Do we want a web page? We can obviously make something custom. We can choose a PowerPoint. So for us today, we're gonna do a phone app. So we're just gonna leave it on the iPhone 14, 13 Pro. That's good. And we'll create. You can title it up here, Bob's Repair App. All right, so a couple things we're gonna showcase here. One cool feature I wanted to show, this is only available when you're in a prototype. This isn't available for the flowchart or the mind map file type, okay? So if you come in and you come down here to the AI, you can actually have it generate you a mind map. So this is pretty cool. So they have a few different examples here. So I'm gonna say app for auto repair shop. Let's see what it can do. Okay, so here's our, now I already put this canvas on here, so that's kind of messing things up a little bit. Let's hide that for now. So here's the mind map that it generated. Let's see what it's got. So we have features, we have benefits. Man, this is much better than mine. And then we can just customize this if we wanted. And so you can kind of have this here on your canvas while you're designing your app if you wanted. So it's right here while we're designing our app, we can reference it. All right. So the widgets here, here on the left-hand side, we have widgets. We have a huge library of icons. We have a pretty small image library, but you're going to want to bring in your own screens. This is where they have some templates for us to work from. We'll come back to that later. And then obviously our flowchart items and the mind map things. The master, we will also come back to this in a little bit. That's another trick I got for you. Okay, so the first page, we're just gonna call this home. So the first thing I think I'd like to do is add a little image background up here at the top. And some text. Again, this is really cool how it kind of organizes things for us. So we got Bob's Repair Shop. You can change our font. They gotta have a decent library of fonts here. All right, so we'll grab that, get it centered, and then now we're gonna add our image. So once you click on the widget, the right-hand pane will change for you, and we'll come down here and we'll say replace, and let's see what their image library has. Here's a picture of a car. Let's do that. Okay, so now, well, now we can't read Bob's Repair Shop. So what are we gonna do? Well, let's change the opacity, something like that. And I think this needs to be bold. Make that pop a little bit. We can also add some shadows here if we wanted, which is kind of cool, like a little blur shadow. We can change the color. I think that makes it pop. And then we can also add our animation. So when the app first opens up, you'll see like the little nice animation of the things popping in. So we'll do like a fade in and 2000. All right, so then we want some more text. But let's say this is like our logo, right? So if we right click on that, this is trick number 2. Click on that and say create master. Now this master is basically something that now we can use across all of our projects. If you're familiar with the slide masters in PowerPoint, this is basically the same thing. So we're just going to create that. We can name it and say confirm. So now this has become a master. And if you come down to the master section, now we're going to see that this text, this what we're going to call the logo, has shown up in our master section here. All right, so next is we're going to grab another one of these because this has our text, and now we can change it to our services, right? So we've kept all those little features that we tweaked on the first one, and now we have another one. So we're going to put our services here. One of the other cool things that I like, if you come to the media section, is the carousel. So we'll drag one of these on here and we'll make it fit nice. Our services needs to be centered, so we can center that with the button up here. Okay, so within the carousel, we'll click on that. And then here in the assets, we can go ahead and add in some cool images. Just for example, I made a couple little images using Canva and brought those over. And so now within the carousel, we can also change this autoplay settings. We can change the interval. We can change which way it moves. Pretty cool. You can even change the color of the little dots down here. So customization, guys, it's endless. All right. And then last thing that we're going to have on our very simple homepage, come back to all. We need a button. I'm going to put a button right here in the middle. Definitely needs to be bigger than that. I want it to stand out. Center that up and call this Contact Us button. Okay, so we can change a little bit how this looks and feels. If we wanted, we can update the radius. I think it needs to be a little bit larger. That's nice. And then we'll make it a little bit darker around the edges. I do think we need to fill it just slightly blue. We'll go with the blue theme of the car. Again, I am not a designer, but this is really cool software. Guys, if you're getting value out of this, if you're taking something away, I would really appreciate a like. It helps push this video to more. It feeds the YouTube algorithm, so thanks for that. Okay, so now we're gonna make another page. So we're gonna come up here to page, and we're gonna get plus. Now we're gonna make our Contact Us page. Okay, so now we have another page with the same template. I do want to mention something first. Let's say you weren't sure about this, right? This is, I don't know, this is one home page, but maybe I want another option. That's where your artboard comes in. Okay, so you would create another artboard. Now we have our two artboards here, artboard 1 and artboard 2. And we can make another revision to the home page and let our developer, designer, whatever decide, right? So that's kind of how that feature works. One of the other things, if you were adding icons or certain things you wanted to save, you could right click on it and we can add it to My Widgets. Okay, and then you can name it something custom if you wanted. And now within widgets, my asset, now we have that right here. So if there is something that maybe you customized it, you changed the color a little bit or whatever, and you wanted to use that one thing across your whole team, that's how you would save it to be able to use it over and over. Now we're going to go to our Contact Us page, and then this automatically updates, so your artboard changes. And again, on our Contact Us page, this is going to be tip number 3. So you're going to come down here to Screen, okay, and it's like, I don't want to design a whole Contact Us page. I bet someone's already done that. So we can do a couple things. First, we can search for it and see if anybody has anything. Oh, look at that, a contact page. So if we click on that and bring it over, this is going to bring it in as a new artboard. Okay, so we could design one from scratch, or we can use the one from the screen, a pre-made template. So this one kind of has these elements that sort of come outside, which is kind of interesting. Name, email, subject. What we can do is we can basically customize this for ours. I don't think we need this. Stay tuned with us. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Tuned up, right? Take your car for a tune-up. So name, email, subject. We don't want a subject. What would we want? Maybe a phone number. So we can quickly change the text, and then we'll change the text of this as well. We'll have to do the placeholder here. There you go. Now the one thing I see that's missing is a button. So okay, well, let's go. Let's just add a button here, and then we'll make this submit. Like a little drop shadow on this puppy. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Now we're really cooking here. All right. So how do we link these two pages together? What we're going to do is we want our button, click on our button, and we grab this little lightning icon. Then we can shoot over to the contact page. Now it's going to give us the options of which artboard do you want it to link to. And in our case, we're going to do the contact one. That's the one that actually is working, right? Or has content on it. All right, so we are pretty much done. Let's go ahead and see this. If we click on the little play button, now we can preview it. So there you could see our little animations, right? Our logo kind of popped in, our services is there, and now we're gonna click on our button, and here's our contact page. That is pretty slick. So here again, you can see, if we go back to home, you can see the little animations come in, our carousel's working, our button works. And that's pretty slick. Again, guys, I am not a designer. Please don't leave a comment saying that's the worst app I've seen. If you do, that's okay. I'm not making myself up to be a designer, but I hope it was helpful. And then if you want to go back to editing, just hit edit and it'll take you right back inside. All right, so we're going to try one more thing here, and that's build you a full app if you really wanted. So let's see if it can do a better job. We'll do an auto repair shop app. All right. So basically it just kind of spits out a one big artboard. Now this is pretty cool. Okay. I mean, it kind of like, it makes it all nice and themed. Really all you have to do is come in here and change it, right? So we've got like, I put in some cool photos for us. We've got a little menu bar down here. That's pretty slick, guys, right? So this is a way where you can hit the ground running, so to speak, with the AI, and kind of, if you don't know where to start or what to do, this will give you a great idea. And obviously there's some things that need to be worked on in here, right? But boy, this looks a whole lot better than even mine. Exporting. Let's talk about our export options. So if you come up here and we hit the download, we can download this as a PNG. We can download it as a PDF. Obviously that's going to just be like fixed. You're not going to see the animations and stuff, but that's okay if you're just wanting to portray your idea. We can do HTML5, and you can actually get it right to an Android APK. If you had an Android device, you could start using it and showing it to your friends and potential clients or whatever. Developers, real quick, I did want to touch on, if you wanted to get started and use more than just the 3 free files, you have the option to upgrade to the professional plan, which would give you up to 100 files and 3,000 pages. And they also have an enterprise level. Not sure there's many people here looking for the enterprise level, but if you are, it's a great option. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful and informative. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate your feedback. You need to say, okay, I have this thing, I want to do this thing, but what do I need, right? The little things over and over, right? So that, yeah, you get it. You get it. You guys are smart. A website. I want a website. I want an app. 3 hours later. Connect them. We just grab the line. Nope, we don't do that.